Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, today I wanted to share with you my process for putting together one of these Etcetera tags. Many of us see on Facebook these beautiful creations by some of the most talented designers, and I wanted to show you how simple it is to put some of these together. Many of us don't venture away from card making, and I think it's because we're just a little intimidated by it. But I wanted to show you how simple it is to put together a layout, and I'm going to walk you through my process. So the first thing I wanted to do is share with you my Etcetera tag. These Etcetera tags are from the Holtz collection, and they come in a variety of sizes. This is the mini tag, and it measures approximately 7 3/4 by 4 1/4. The product is called Thickboard, and it's more sturdy than grunge board, but it's still lightweight. Now, I did a lot of my prep work off camera because I really wanted to share with you the layout. So I had found some designer paper and I adhered it using some Mod Podge, and then I used a small metal file to take away some of the excess along the edges. Once I did that, I took some of my walnut stained distress ink and I edged up the sides to take away some of that white that was showing left over from using my file board. Now, the idea behind these thick boards is to create layers, and you want to create something that's going to be aesthetically pleasing to your eye. A lot of times when I am putting together my layouts, I lay out a lot of my elements several times in different ways until I get the desired look. Now, the tools that I typically use are some thin paint brushes, and then I also use Mod Podge as well as some of my Distress Collage Medium. Now, you might be wondering why I use both of these products. Now, the Mod Podge is a little bit more runny, and I like that for bigger surfaces. And then when I need to get a little bit more detailed, I use my Distress Collage Medium because it's not as runny as the Mod Podge. So when I choose my ephemera, I go for something that is large enough to create a statement, but something that's not going to overtake my design. My first layer typically is going to get covered up, so I do take into consideration not only what is going to be showing, but the size of it as well. So I take my Mod Podge and I get my paintbrush and I add it to the back, and then I lay it down. Now, once I have my first layer, I'm ready to start adding some of my other elements. Because this isn't a very big tag, I wanted to go ahead and find a nice focal point that would add to the background, but not necessarily take away from it. This clock is a die from the Holtz collection, and it is one of the older dies. And what I like about this is not only is it circular, but you can also see through it, so you can still see the layers in the background. I cut the clock from an old cereal box, and then I used some walnut stain to color it up. Then I took my Mod Podge and my paintbrush and I added some of the adhesive to the back so that way I can add it to my tag. Once I have my clock in place, then I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Distress Collage Medium and use my favorite tool, which are my fingers, to make sure I get it nice and tight. I really like the Distress Collage Medium with my fingers because I'm able to get inside of all the nooks and crannies and make sure that my clock isn't going to move. Now, like I said, my clock is going to be my focal point, and from there I'm going to add some layers and a nice picture. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music while I finish this tag off, and then I'll come back at the end to finish off the video. Now, what I really like about this design is you can create it for any occasion. All you need to do is just pick a different type of image. The image that I'm working with is from the Found Relatives collections, and it's one of those cards that I just simply cut an oval to fit my frame. But if you wanted to turn this into a Halloween tag, you could easily add a Halloween image, or vice versa if you wanted it to be a Christmas tag. Just change up the colors a little bit and add a Christmas image. It's just a really easy layout. I've combined not only ephemera, but also some wood elements and some metal elements as well. So you have a combination of different textures. Now, the adhesive that you see me using is Glossy Accents. And I use Glossy Accents because it is a really strong adhesive. In the past, I have used glue, my glue gun before, but I find some of my elements actually come off with my glue gun. And with Glossy Accents, once it dries, your elements are not moving. And it works not only for your wood elements, but also for your metal elements as well. Now, for my metal tag on the very top, I did want it to look like I had my brads going through the sides, but I wasn't really able to punch holes to get it through my wood. So all I did is just fold over the metal elements, and when I added my Glossy Accents, I just made sure that the metal element, the brad part in the back, was folded towards the center. And then I added my Glossy Accents and glued it onto the tag. When I'm creating these tags, I really like to have balance. So I really do take care when I am laying out the tag. And I try different variations. But a lot of times, like I said, I'll start with my focal point and then I'll go from there. And I try to have balance on the top and on the bottom. So if you see me putting something more towards the left, like my little tab that I have on my left, I make sure that I have a metal element on the right. So that way I have some balance. And then again, I have my keys on the left bottom part, so I added some gears on the top right part just to balance out my tag. So after I added my gears, I wanted to add one more element. So I decided to add a swivel clasp to my metal hinge, and then I added a round token. And the word that I chose for my token is simplify. It's a word, hopefully, that works with my theme, and the theme I was going for was simpler times. So I hope that you've enjoyed my process for putting together this tag, and I've given you some ideas for some of your creations in the future. As always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create this tag, along with the links to the shops. If you've enjoyed the video, I would sure appreciate a thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about my tag, as well as the process. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. I am in the process of filming as well as editing my 7 Days of Halloween series, and I hope to be able to have those listed the first week of September. If I don't get all of my videos edited by the first week of September, then it definitely will come out the second week of September. But I'll make sure that I put a promo out on my social media, so that way you'll know exactly when it's going to start. But again, the best way to follow me and know when the videos do post is to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell, so that way you're notified when a new video comes on. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you again next time.